Welcome to Authentic Relating Games. So, this is different exercises to do with another person in order to have a more enriched experience of communication. So, go ahead and get comfortable, get a glass of water, put on some music if you feel like it, and let's jump right in. So, to get started, I want to go over some basic principles of authentic relating that'll help enrich this experience. So there's five basic principles that help us to come into communication with more authenticity, hence the name authentic relating. The first of those is welcome everything. And that means whatever comes up in conversation, try opening your perception to it. So often, as adults, especially, we tend to have these boxes around what we think, and we do not allow new information to come in. So, allow this to be a childlike curiosity coming in with an open mind and open heart. The second is to assume nothing. This is very hard to do because we all have assumptions. It's how our brain works, but it's basically learning to notice our assumptions and then drop them. That way, we remain open to the possibility and we avoid having miscommunication and instead are connecting with clarity. If there's ever confusion, always ask for clarity rather than jump into assumptions. The third is reveal your experience. So this doesn't mean just say everything that is going on in your internal landscape, but it does mean to share honestly, openly, and authentically. So often we try to beat around the bush or we don't fully bring our authentic selves into conversation. And it makes it so that it's not authentic and real, and therefore we don't actually connect in a vulnerable space. And the way to get closer is through vulnerability. The way to build trust is through vulnerability. And the way to grow any relationship, whether it is a personal relationship or a work relationship, comes from being open and honest. All right, the third one is to own your experience. This is probably one of the biggest ones because it's the one that most people struggle with. When we fully take ownership of not only our words and our thoughts, but also of our perceptions, then we're fully taking responsibility for our experience. That means there is not one person that can make you feel a certain way, but when a person does something, I can feel a way. So using I language is something that's really essential when coming into good communication instead of blaming others. All right, the fifth and very important one is honoring self and other. So that means honoring your boundaries and also honoring the other person's. And the big question to continually ask is, what is needed here? Even in this practice, it's fun, but maybe you need to take a break or maybe you need a hug. But consistently checking in and saying, hey, what's needed here? What's needed here for me? What's needed here for you can really open up a lot of possibility to authenticity and conversation. All right, so let's jump into our first exercise. There's three different parts to this. So first, I want you to get out a timer, whether it's on your phone. You're going to be the timer for your experience here. And this first game is going to help us to dive into our awareness because when we're more aware of ourselves, we're more aware of others, and we're able to reveal our experience in a safe manner, then we will have better conversation hands down. So the first one that we're going to do, the person with the longer hair, you are now person A. The person with the shorter hair is now person B. All right, person A, you are going to go first, and person B, you're going to reply, and you'll go back and forth. So this is called the noticing game. And so person A, what you're going to say is, being here with you, talking to person B, I notice, and you will notice something about yourself. And then in response, person B will say, hearing that, I notice, and they'll notice something about themselves. So each of you will be noticing something about yourselves internally, whether that's emotions, whether that's physical sensations, your breath, whatever it can be, it's welcome in this space. So this can be done from 2 to 5 minutes. You're going to go back and forth, noticing one thing and another. And I'll repeat it. Being here with you, I notice. And then the person will respond, hearing that, I notice. Person A will then say, hearing that, I notice. Person B, go back and forth, hearing that, I notice, for 2 to 5 minutes. So go ahead and pause the video, put on your 2 to 5 minutes, and go ahead and play the game. All right, welcome back. So now I want you to take just 1 minute and share with each other the impact of hearing each other's experience during this connection. So just take 1 minute, pause the video, and discuss your experience. Hey, welcome back. Now we're going on to part B of this exercise. So now this is all about noticing the other person. Such an essential skill in communication. So we're going to do something very similar. This time, person B, you're going to start. And person B, you'll say to person A, being here with you, I notice, and you'll say something you notice about them. Maybe it's something physical, maybe you can sense an emotion, but being here with you, I notice. And then person A, you'll respond saying, hearing that, I notice. Person B will say, hearing that, I notice, and you go back and forth with this for 2 to 5 minutes, continually just noticing something about each other. So go ahead, put 2 to 5 minutes on your clock and pause the video and get started. All right, welcome back. So now again, I want you to take a minute and share your impact. How was it having somebody recognize you and see you? Do you feel visible and seen? So take a minute, pause the video, and then we'll see you in a minute. All right, welcome back. Now we are on to part 3 of this exercise. So still the noticing game, but what we are going to do is we're going to add in curiosities. So this time, person A, you're going to start first again, and you're going to say, I'm curious about blank. Whatever you are curious about in that other person. Maybe it's curious about what they're thinking. There's really nothing off limits here. So whatever you're curious about in the moment, maybe you're curious about what their family's like, or what their deepest secret is. The thing is, we're not going to answer the question. We're simply going to go back and forth with our curiosities. So when person A, you say, I'm curious about blank. Person B, you'll respond saying, hearing that, I'm curious about this. Person A, you'll say, hearing that, I'm curious about back and forth, the same way that we've done the other ones. So go ahead and put 2 to 5 minutes, whatever you feel, on your timer, pause the video, and start this exercise. Welcome back. Okay, take a minute and debrief. How was it to hear those curiosities that this person had to get with you? And what was that experience like? Go ahead and pause the video and share with each other. Okay, now we're going on to exercise and game number 2. So this is all about listening for values. So what we're going to do is person B, you're going to go first now. And person B, you are going to share for 5 minutes about a story of some time that you felt so alive, something that you truly, truly enjoyed, a memory, an experience. And it's okay if it feels a little uncomfortable to talk for a full 5 minutes. It's meant to. So the reason why we do it for this length of time is so that you have enough time to fully dive into how you feel about this memory and experience. The reason is that while you tell this story, person B, person A, you're going to be listening so intently for their values. You're going to be listening to what values that are the most important to them and what they withhold. Okay, so go ahead, put on your timer for 5 minutes. Person A or person B will tell the story and then come back to the video. Okay, So now, person A, I want you to share with person B for 1 minute what values it was that you heard. Go ahead and pause the video, 1 minute. Okay. So now, person B, I want you to share with person A what that was like, having somebody listen to you so intently and truly hear your values and what's important to you. 1 minute, go ahead and pause the video. Good. All right, we're going to switch roles. So, person A, it's your turn to tell the story. You've got 5 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and pause the video. Great. Okay, now person B, I want you to share with person A what values you heard are truly important to this person. Pause the video, put 1 minute on your clock. Okay, great job. Now, person A, I want you to reflect back. What was it like hearing that? Hearing all the things that are really important to you and having somebody listen to you that intently. Go ahead and pause the video 1 minute. Great. Okay, awesome exercise, awesome game. Let's jump on to the third game. So this one's really fun. This is called the lens of attention. So we are going to put our focus on different parts of ourselves or our experience and state what we're noticing with that. So I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. You won't pause the video through this, but you will be sharing back and forth with each other what you're noticing through our different lenses of attention. So the first thing I want you to do is put your awareness on your breath. Just notice your breath. It's not supposed to be any certain way, just notice it as it is. And then person B, I want you to start first and just say a phrase. It could be a sentence or two, maybe even a paragraph. When I put my attention on my breath, I notice, and share that with person A. Good. And now person A, I want you to share with person B. When I put my attention on my breath, I notice. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go to the next place of awareness. I want you to become aware of your full body. Notice everything. Maybe there's some areas of tension, some tingling, some heat. Just notice everything in your body. And this time, person A, you go first. When I put my attention on my body, I notice. Good. And person B, when I put my attention on my body, I notice. Beautiful job. Okay, person B, you're going to go first now. I want you to bring your awareness in the center of your heart. You might feel this physically, you might feel it emotionally. It's up to you. Person B, when I put my attention on my heart, I notice. Good. Person A, when I put my attention on my heart, I notice. Go ahead. Beautiful. Okay, person A, your turn to go first. When I put my attention on my emotions, I notice. Feel free to take a moment to check in before you answer. Good. Now, person B, when I put my attention on my emotions, I notice. Again, feel free to check in before you answer. Great. All right, person B, your turn to go first. When I put my attention on this person sitting in front of me, I notice. Good. And person A, when I put my attention on the person sitting in front of me, I notice. Good. And that last one, even though we did a noticing game at the beginning, maybe you noticed something different after spending this much time connecting, talking about each other's values and stories, noticing other parts of yourself. It's amazing how much depth we can get in connection with others and how much richness our true authenticity showing up in communication can make life. So hope you enjoyed this practice, these games, these exercises. You can use them anytime with anyone. It's a really fun way to get out of just the informational conversation and get down deeper into the more relational conversation where trust and connection is built. All right, happy connecting.